Hi, everyone.
Hi there,
It's Alicia Davis
and Stacy Watson.
from Transformative Leadership Strategies.
That's it.
And we're just super grateful and super happy and really inspired by the women's leadership experience session that we did this morning, right, Stace?
Yes, we're doing this program. We're launching it in September with the Women's Consortium down in Hamden, Connecticut.
Yep.
And we had a 2 hour, I don't know, experience session today where we had an opportunity to meet with some women who were, interested both in learning more about the women's leadership experience, also known as WLE, as well as just meeting in the space with other women leaders and talking about leadership. And it
And
was
we were
awesome.
It was awesome, and we were just talking about, their leadership roles and the things that how they defined leadership, from anything from, inspiration to guidance to mentoring, and then, some of the challenges that they had in leadership, as women, and, some of that cultural bias that happens, and just all of the things that leaders and especially women have to juggle all the time, home life and work life, and more internally, right? We were talking a lot today, Stace, around just that confidence, and especially confidence when you're moving from one level to the next level, right?
Oh, that's right. We all have those voices in our heads that are always ready to tell us we don't know what we need to know. We're not enough. It just is like this yammering that goes on and on. And
Yep.
exactly. And everyone in the room, of course, understood what that is because we all have it. So it was really interesting to talk with women at various stages of their careers about making that transition and some of the ways they've tried to address or adapt to that, and some of the strategies that we talked about in terms of the women's leadership program. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a very interesting conversation. One of the things that really struck me was toward the end of our time, one of the women in the group really seemed to connect with this idea of her own energy and energy level, and how having higher levels of energy, which helped her feel that sense of confidence and you've got this and it's going to be fine.
Uh-huh.
How when she was able to really experience that energy on a regular basis and believe it and sort of lean into it, to use a Sheryl Sandberg phrase, she just felt like her whole experience at work was transformed. It was so interesting.
It was, and it was. What was also great was one of the other women that was in the group this morning just turned to her and said, even as she was describing her experience of going from not quite sure to then really trying it on to then really embodying it, she was like, this other woman like could even see her change in the telling of the story of it.
Yes,
It was
yes, absolutely.
like she was like recreating it like right in the moment.
Yes, it was really, really interesting. So I think that, this idea of confidence just shows up for all of us. And I know we've talked about it in this forum on several occasions. It's just such an interesting and important topic. And it definitely resonated with the women that we met with today.
hmm Yeah, and I think kind of everyone's takeaway was, and really kind of part of our message is around being yourself, right? Being true to yourself, being authentic, really. And we talk about this all the time, but really getting clear and about your values and what's important to you, and being able to talk about things even when they are challenging by really um, being standing in your power and your truth, and all of what that means in working life every day, right now, whatever role you're in.
Yeah, and I guess the last thing that really stayed with me since our time this morning was just it seemed like the aha moment that several of the participants had, that it's really important to take care of yourself.
hmm
And that might be more professional growth and more professional training, or more, support in your profession. And it also might include really just caring for yourself personally, and how as women, there's not a lot of permission for that. We don't give ourselves permission. And then often society and culture doesn't allow for that either. So I really appreciated that awareness today as well. It is important that we care for ourselves, and that can take on a lot of different looks and feels, but it's important to be mindful of, how we're caring for ourselves while we're caring for all these other things that we're all juggling and caring for all the time.
Definitely. Absolutely. And it's always about managing energy, right?
Yes, it is all about the energy.
So thank you, everyone. Hope that was helpful or inspiring in some way, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Bye.